I just built a Chrome extension with the Gemini CLI without writing a single line of code. I think we're entering an era where bespoke software can be created for individual users thanks to powerful AI coding assistants like this. If you're new here, I'm Billy Jacobson, a developer advocate at Google focusing on Gen AI and data. I love going to YouTube to learn things, which is a huge part of my job, staying up to date on the latest AI and data trends. But as you can see from my homepage, there are so many things distracting me. Oh, do I want to watch someone sing, or do I need some fun music to go along with it? And I found this experience to be a little distracting while I'm trying to work and get my stuff done. So I decided I want to modify my YouTube experience with a custom Chrome extension. Now, I've been a developer for over 10 years, but I've never built a Chrome extension. And I know, there are great docs on how to build a Chrome extension. Sure, I could read through all of this. I'm sure there's a quick start somewhere, but I just don't want to deep dive into all of this when I know the thing I'm trying to make is really simple and straightforward, and it's just for me. So I figure I'm going to use the Gemini CLI and have that code everything for me and see what it can do with this. If you haven't tried out the Gemini CLI yet, it is an open source command line AI workflow tool. And basically, it's all the power of Gemini, the AI agent, but it can look through your code base. It can generate new apps. It can use tools and MCP servers, which I find to be really cool. But I'm just kind of doing the most basic thing of generating some code. I've already installed it with the npm command and authenticated. But you do get a lot of free tier stuff. If you are wanting to try it out, you get 16 model requests per minute and 1,000 requests per day. So that's definitely a lot. So I'm going to go to the command line. I've just got a blank directory here, and I'm going to open Gemini and start with this. So I've already written out my prompts just to make this a little bit easier for myself. So first, I want to create a blank Chrome extension that will be used for helping me focus and just to not add any features yet. I like to go kind of bit by bit, especially when I'm just wanting to start something out. I think sometimes the AI models can go and do too much, or it'll create new features. And I'm like, I actually don't want all those features. I know exactly what I want. So I'm going to allow it to just edit whatever code it wants and hope that it does a good job. It's making like a pop-up JS and pop-up CSS and HTML. And then it also gave me a nice README. So it tells me how to do it. So you just go to the settings, extension, developer mode, load and unpack. I've kind of played around with this before, so I know that already. And I also have an instruction that tells it to make these PRDs with like, here are the features and stuff like that. So if you are interested in my Gemini setup, and I'm still figuring it out, let me know and I can make a separate video saying how I got this PRDs feature to come up. So the first feature I want is basically just getting me off of the homepage. So instead of going to the homepage when I ever end up there, just take me to a blank search page. First, make a new feature that redirects from the homepage to a blank search page. Make sure it's robust and happens whenever the tab URL changes. I've tried this out a few times, and even with this still might not work, and we'll have to debug it a little bit. But I've found YouTube is kind of complicated. Gemini is complicated. There are a lot of different ways to do this kind of thing. So I know the tab ID is at least one way that was kind of working. Let's load in the extension. So I'll go to settings, extensions, and I'm already in developer mode. So I will load in an unpacked extension, which is my YouTube focus. And now when I go to YouTube, okay, when I go to YouTube, it was supposed to redirect me to the search page. I've actually had this issue before. I tell it to make it and it doesn't work. So I'm just going to say that didn't work. I could go through, debug it. I know one thing it's been having an issue with is it doesn't give like the right tabs permission. So let's see, maybe that was the issue this time. But see, it's just debugging it for me. I don't actually have to, think too hard about this. And I think this is kind of the thing I've been thinking about with this kind of bespoke software stuff is I don't need this to necessarily be perfect. I just kind of need it to work for me. I think there's going to be a lot of software that can be developed that will just work for one person, work for 5 people, work for 10 people. And I think there's a lot of potential there. All right, I'm going to reload it in. Now, when I go to YouTube, Instead of the homepage, it takes me to the search page. Incredible. I think even if I click here, it's kind of working, but it's not fully there. When I click a button, YouTube page, continue to redirect me to search, please. See, there's so many different kinds of ways it could be handling this navigation and having to consider all the different kinds of possibilities here. Great. I love it when it says I'm right. It's saying client-side navigations within YouTube, like clicking, need to be handled explicitly with a redirect. Okay, perfect. See, I'm just kind of slowly adding more and more features and robustness into my extension. So I will refresh this again. And when I click this homepage, again, taken to the search. Great. First feature is complete. And honestly, this would probably be enough for me. But another thing I have is I love shorts. I love the short form content. You've probably seen some of my short videos, and if you haven't, go check them out. But sometimes I will get stuck in a shorts rabbit hole. And, when you search for a short and you keep scrolling down, sometimes they're related, and then sometimes it just starts taking you to memes. Now I want to make sure I don't get stuck in a shorts rabbit hole. Can you make sure that when I'm watching the short, if I go to another short, it takes me back to the search page instead? Let's go to my YouTube channel, actually. So we can click one of my shorts.
My terminal now has superpower.
Yeah, my terminal with this Gemini CLI definitely has superpowers. Okay. Now when I'm at one short and I scroll down to the other, I get redirected to the search page. I feel like this is a very intense way to modify YouTube, but I can always turn the extension off, or maybe another feature I'll add is just disabling it for certain periods of time or only when I'm really trying to focus. But yeah, I'm really impressed. Even with a little bit of debugging I had to do, it was still really easy for me to just say, I want this feature. That didn't work. And I just feel like I'm able to solve my unique problems and throw together an app and solution really quickly without having to spend that much brain power on it. And then I can take my brain power and use it for more interesting and more complex problems. Thank you so much for making it this far in the video, and give me a like and subscribe for more content like this. If you're a developer looking to quickly build custom solutions for your own unique problems, or just want to experiment with some AI coding, the Gemini CLI really is a great option to experiment with, especially with those 60 free requests per minute and 1,000 model requests per day. I think you'll really be surprised at what you can create without actually having to write any code. Thanks for watching.